Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Several questions here, if I could, maybe to the two of you, Campbell, Slavitt.
Is your mic on?
It's turned on. Could you explain to me first, Ms. Campbell, you said that in your testimony some 3.5 hours ago that the system works but not at an acceptable pace. Is the pace specified in the contract?
It is not specified in the contract.
So do you feel that you fulfilled your contractual obligations by October 1st?
Absolutely.
And do you believe that next week Secretary Sebelius will concur that you have fulfilled your contractual obligations?
I certainly hope she does.
No, do you think she will?
I think she will.
Okay. Do you know whether or not, are you familiar with either one of you, IV&V or V&V?
Independent validation verification.
Verification, yes. Do you know whether or not that was that to have been used in this process, this engineering development?
I do not recall there being an IV&V contractor.
Okay, how about with you, Mr. Slavitt?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you think it would have been justified? Now, given in retrospect, that's in retrospect.
At the start of the program, it could not have hurt.
Okay. Do you have the developmental artifacts that would confirm your engineering solution that you developed in developing your software?
Yes, we do.
Do you know contractually whether or not that will be available for an independent agency to review?
I'd have to get, that'd have to go through CMS Contracts Organization for approval.
Okay. In the contract, I've listened here a little bit with this, after hearing so many questions being raised. Is there an issue about let me strike that. Go back to the question, how long did you have, or in the specifications, did they tell you 2 weeks is that's all you have to have? I come from the construction industry that is very specific about when you have to have substantial completion and completion on a project. Was there anything like that in this that said you must begin testing just 2 weeks before it's launched? Or
no,
was
there were none of those specifications were in our original contract.
Okay, but I also heard there were change orders.
Correct, but there were not.
Was there ever a change that said you shall begin testing 2 weeks prior?
No, and once again, testing was not our ultimate responsibility. Testing of our code, make sure I'm clear, testing of our code, our responsibility. But then it went through the CMS process for testing, independent testing done by QSSI, and then CMS doing the integrated end-to-end testing.
If you feel that you achieved your objectives by October 1st, can you tell me whether or not there were anything about liquidated damages, if there are problems associated after October 1st that have to be corrected? Are there liquidated damages part of your contract?
I'd have to get back to you on that. I don't recall. If it's a standard FAR clause, then it could very well be there as a standard FAR clause. I just don't know for sure. But being a cost-plus type contract, now I'm stretching because I don't know for sure.
I didn't think, and again, I have not had a chance to complete the review of it, but I didn't understand. I thought it was a performance-based with plus cost for incidental expenses. I didn't read it as being a cost-plus contract. Are you saying it's a cost-plus, not a performance-based contract?
I believe it's a cost-plus contract.
Could you
cost-plus fee type contract.
Cost-plus fee.
That's what I believe. I'll get confirmation.
Could you get back to that magic 9 o'clock hour tomorrow if you could on it? The one thing just in closing that I can tell you, I'm a little surprised by the whole panel. You've heard all the disappointment, both sides of the aisle here, over this thing not being satisfactory at this point. I haven't heard one of you apologize to the American public in behalf of your country or your companies for problems that were associated with not having this thing ready. Are apologies not in order?
So in my opening statement, I said that CGI, as well as
It's just a
myself,
simple, I'm sorry.
acknowledge, we acknowledge,
I'm
sir.
sorry. I'm sorry that we didn't, we tried, but there were changes made, we tried. I've not heard the word, I'm sorry. I know men have a hard time saying that, but the whole panel, I haven't heard anyone say, look, as a contractor, when we didn't finish a project on time, we had to go to the owner and apologize and explain what happened. We're not ready here, and I don't understand why there's not an apology to the American public. We're sorry that there were glitches. It was a very complicated project, as you said, but I apologize. I haven't heard that from any one of the four of you.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Could we get an apology for shutting down the government because people didn't like the health care bill?